Hello, and welcome to Stellar Strategy Gaming. Today we will be discussing the game Humankind, which will be releasing soon. In fact, just this weekend, another embargo happened to drop. And in part, that is why I am discussing this, is because more detail on the game is coming out all the time. Now, Humankind is a 4X strategy game, which stands for Exploit, Explore, Expand, and Exterminate. This is, generally speaking, grand strategy as a whole. Many YouTubers have been hired to play in this game, with actually many appearing in-game. Humankind supposedly advertises to a wide variety of people, and can theoretically lead your, say, Egyptian civilization onto the moon and such. It is rather Civ-like in its appearance, and in fact it is being heralded as a Civ killer. It is part of the reason why I have my doubts. And in fact, why I will continue to have my doubts for the good period of time going forward. Now then, my doubts stem from the fact that Humankind is just a Civ knockoff. It's being heralded as a Civ killer, but that's not too hard because Civilization is going through a rough patch. Civilization 6 was terrible compared to Civ 5, and it had a lot of mechanics which just don't work. However, with Humankind, I feel as though it's a knockoff in some of the worst ways possible. In many ways, there's no information on it for those of us who want to play it more casually, so we don't know how fast the game is yet. We don't know exactly what all the features are, so it's hard for us to be really interested. On top of this, also just what's going on. Do we know if the map's going to work? Do we not? There's so little information right now, and I know there's an information embargo, and that's actually what has me more worried, is the fact that without more information being released to the public, we have no idea if it's going to be as good as games like Age of Wonders Planetfall, or perhaps even the game Stellaris, which is one of the most popular 4X strategy games at the time. We know it'll probably be more popular than Civ 6, but that's not saying much because Civ 6 had some problems. What we do know is that the company seems afraid to show off any mechanics, but except for the ones that it stole, like the age systems, where you can advance through eras constantly. And unfortunately, I believe that that is definitely going to be a problem going forward, and I hope that more people call them out on this blatant stealing of a mechanic I have right here on screen. Era scores were basically just lifted from Civ 6. On top of that, it's not really an original game. Its art style is very similar to that of Endless Legend, a game also produced by this company. And, indeed, it doesn't really do anything original. Instead of creating unique civilizations or having a unique art style, it just borrows from existing civilizations and doesn't really create a strong point. Hell, in the late game, you can even do things like form the Soviet Union or become nuclear Gandhi, which are also Civilization 6 and 5 things. You can also spread your society, which doesn't seem that interesting. And all in all, I'm just kind of wondering why this is the way that it is. It seems like it has a lot of good intention behind it, but it's just not coalescing, I feel. I wouldn't look at this game and go, oh yeah, this is a finished product that I want to buy that's wholly original. And I think that that needs to be kept in mind. I'd advise that people not pre-order and wait until this game actually releases to purchase it so we know what's actually going on. Also, don't think it's going to be the Civ killer, which might be a little controversial, and it's at this point that I have to remind you to stay calm in the comments, but I have my doubts, and I think they're fully valid doubts, really. I mean, just why would you hide so much information? It's not good for your marketing or for your productivity. But the company is, and that shows me a fundamental fear that their product isn't going to be up to snuff. With that, though, I hope you enjoyed this really quick little response to the Humankind craze. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe.